this. So we're going to measure your back leg out of squat, back leg squat, which is, let's see here, that's not very good. It's sticky over here. Let's look at it here. You actually do a good job of squatting, right? So I want to be below 110. So you're doing well out of the back leg squat. Okay. Your knees inside out of this. I like that. I like that knee's inside. But I'd like to see your hip a little bit more.
That never gets old.
Yeah. I'd like to see your hip go further back behind that heel into the slot. So it's not quite in the slot that I want it in as far as your hip goes, but you are squatting low, so that's a positive. Okay, so let's see what happens out of this. As you drive forward, we have really good lower body flexibility here, 123. Okay, so that's good. I want to be above 110. Okay, so that's good. As you plant into that front leg, you can see how variable your front knee is just to get your back legs through, your back hip through, okay? When you have instability in your front knee, your hip will wait to rotate. And when it waits to rotate, you're missing velocity, okay? So that's one measurement. Internally rotated front knee, that's what you have, and I'd like to fix that. Now, as you rotate into this, you're rotating in at 104 degrees. What that means is you're quite low, okay? This is too low of an angle, okay? I'd like to get about 130 plus. So what does 130 look like? Like that. Do you see what has to happen?
Yeah.
Your knee needs to retract, and you need to plant in a more in a way that you're going to have more leverage over that front side. When it's bent, it takes away from your upper body. When it's straight, it allows your upper body to rotate and continue. Remember the up tramps that we did? Up trampolines? Remember your front knee? How we pushed your front knee back? That's the problem. Okay? So front knee, that's a big one that I think we can fix, and I think you're missing some velocity out of that. Back heel rotates and your back leg stays on the ground, which is what I want. It kind of collapses the back leg. See how back leg collapses? Do you want to know why that back leg is collapsing? What do you think? If this back leg was straight, or this front leg was straight, the hips would rotate through and your leg would go straight up. But it doesn't until now. But your hips were late. So fix the front knee, you fix the back leg. Okay? So they're all really interconnected. So now let's look at posture at ball release. So this is what we call a B posture. Okay? It's not good, bad, or indifferent. It's just who you are. Okay? So I want you to make sure that you stay this way, so no one's going to change you. Okay? Because there's a lot of pitching coaches out there that are gonna change you. And when you change someone's posture, you also change their arm slot, which it's not a great thing. Okay? Because your arm slot you're going to throw the best out of that particular arm slot, and every person's different. And we've seen so many guys that have such different arm slots, and we got to tailor it to you, to your arm slot. So you're a B. What that means is from here, you're starting out in front, and this is what I talked to you earlier. Remember I talked to you about going forward too far? This is what's happening. Now you have to turn and get all the way to this point. So what happens to your head? Pulls. So there's too much variable with your head. You're also trying to throw on an axis. Do you guys know what an axis is? like a sphere is turning on its axis. Okay, so like a planet. Okay, same thing with you. You're turning on a particular axis. Your axis changes right here. See? So that's taking away from your ability to rotate. So I want to minimize that. We're not going to be robots out there, but we want to minimize. So if I could get you to be maybe back there, just a little bit, maybe 4 or 5 inches back, and this is what it would look like. So that's, now let's look at our release point. You're just out front that toe, okay? So you're really close to getting this further. What do you think is not allowing you to get out further? Front knee. Front knee. Oh, again, that front knee, it just keeps affecting down the chain, okay? So it's all a chain of events, right? So it goes from the back to the front, and everything is affected by it. Okay, so that release point could be 3, 4, maybe even a foot further out front. You're going to get late brake movement. You're going to get more effective velocity, so it's going to appear faster. For every foot that you go towards the plate, it's 5 miles an hour appearance, not actual velocity, but it appears 5 miles an hour faster because it's now a foot closer. So there's a lot of good things that happen. Okay, so that's a weakness of yours. Okay, so now we need to work on stacking. So the stacking, your back knee's inside. You're doing a good job there. Your upper body does not, you want to stay back now, but I wanted you to stay back earlier here. When you go forward, that one was better. I don't want to go forward with my chest. I want to go back with my head over that rubber as long as I can. So I think you could be more dynamic right out of the gate. That's going to help you push harder. Okay, so stacking, upper body, lower body's okay. Let's look at the front glove. Front glove, good pinch. And the arms coming through. So your front glove actually looks pretty good. You're really closing it off. You're driving it through, and that is allowing your throwing side to come through so well. So that's an awesome movement. Okay, so now no real issues with the front glove. Let's look at your elbow, your throwing elbow. So I'm going to measure this off of both of your shoulders. Okay. We're going to measure it out to your elbow. Okay, so we're right at, we want to be in a straight line off of those shoulder blades. So with those shoulders both off, it should be a straight line, which is 180 degrees. You're 179, you're right there. So I'm not really worried about it. No high elbow, no low elbow. We're okay with that. You'll see when it's high and when it's low, and then we need to fix that. But I think you're okay. You're able to drive through that. So that's fine. Let's look at the chest extension. And I think your chest extension is probably pretty good because you're going to have to compensate for that front knee. So it's about 43 degrees. I'd like it to be in the upper 40s, but 43 is pretty good. So I want you to understand this. This front knee comes back, what happens to the chest? Chest goes through either, right? So you're having this opposite reaction. So front knee's going to come back, chest's going to drive through better. So you're just going to have better timing, okay? It's kind of like a catapult, right? Like, whoa, really going over the top. So last thing I got for you, you have full external rotation here, and let's look at your back of your arm. Do you see how that lays back? That's parallel to the ground, so you have really good layback. And then as you drive through that, watch this hand come outside the elbow. Outside. So you're not too bad. I'd like it to be right around here. Now part of that is your front knee, part of that is your chest. So we get your front knee, we drive your chest a little bit further, and then we can reduce this arm drag. So your arm's dragging, it's going around it, it's delaying and not accelerating. You do a good job of pushing it through, but you have what we call arm fly out, okay? And that's fixable, okay? So we have, with all of the weaknesses, you have about 1 mile an hour per weakness, okay? So you fix those weaknesses, you're going to get about 3 to 5 miles an hour with the bands. You're going to get about probably another 5 miles an hour from the weaknesses themselves, and then probably another 2 or 3 with the ball work. So put all that together, that's why we have guys go from 72 to 88 miles an hour in 2.5 years. So it can happen. Okay.